good to get people involved in Land Rovers at a young age, I think. Superb collection of them here this year. We had quite a few last year, but there's a number of new vehicles that we've not seen before. And there you can see them all parading out to the arena. Oh, that's a really tiny one.
Well, I'm with Veronica Lamond, and a joy to see you. The children just absolutely love these Landy books, Veronica. They're beautiful.
Yeah, thank you, Diana. Yeah, it's really, really good to be here today and see some of the children I've met before, but I've met a lot of parents and children who read my books, and it's been absolutely delightful to hear their stories about how much they love the books, and some of them are even writing their own Landy stories, which is really lovely.
This is building so amazing. What gave you the idea to actually, because you're an illustrator as well, but what made you start writing about Land Rovers and Landy in particular?
Right, it was about 8 years ago. I was working full-time as an office manager at a medical centre, but I've always wanted to write a children's book, and I suddenly decided that it was time to start doing it. So I decided I'd work at night time. I turned my sitting room into a studio and just started to work at night time and through the weekends. And I was looking for a practical book to write because I'm quite alarmed at some of the fantasy books our children are reading and just playing computer games. And I wanted to write something that was that showed real life to children. So I was speaking one evening to a friend of mine, and she said, "Why don't you write about Land Rovers?" And I said, "Well, why Land Rovers?" And she said, "Because my 4 children absolutely love them, and they do so much practical work." And well, I went home and thought, no, I couldn't do that. But then I remembered that evening of my happy times in South Africa, driving around in Land Rovers, and I thought, no, I think I'll do that.
It's such a lovely story, and so wise, because I think it is something, it's very easy not to be able to earth out for children now. Yeah. Everything is, like you say, very much virtual reality, fantasy. And to actually say, this is still real life, we
That's
really
right.
do collect
life
apples,
itself
we
is
really
so,
do.
Life itself is so fascinating for young children, and I think some of them are just kind of bypassing that by reading, just going straight onto fantasy books.
Yes.
So and for me also the role models of Jack and Dan for our young boys, I think it's very important too. They're not superheroes, they're not monsters, they're just real boys.
Well, your interest and your real passion to aim it really at children and to make it really interesting for them, for all the right reasons, has led on to the next step, which is brilliant news with the teaching packs.
Yes, so I've just started just a few weeks ago. I decided that I would do a teaching pack on my first book, and I hope to do a teaching pack on each of the books. They primarily aimed at Key Stage 1, which is 5 to 7 year olds, but the teachers could easily adapt them to older children. And I've worked with a couple of headmistresses or head teachers, and we've gone right across the curriculum: maths, science, English, design and technology. And so they're free, they're downloadable on my website. If you look on my website under information for schools, you'll find them there.
I think it's amazing. You're going to be up in the museum very shortly,
yes,
signing and all the rest.
Yeah.
And then, of course, new book coming out soon.
Yeah, my new book, Fender Goes to Africa, is coming out at the beginning of July, and that's been a really exciting book to do, and taking him back to South Africa, from where I grew up.
Homeland, yeah. Veronica Lamond, it's been an absolute joy as ever. I'm going to get you to sign the draw in a second, but for now, from Gaydon Land Rover Show and this live stream that we've been running for the last couple of hours, hope you stayed with us. It's been full on, really exciting, some amazing stuff in the arenas, and lots still to come. We'll be back with you. You'll see the timetable coming up, and we'll tell you more about it. Lots of live streaming throughout the weekend. Do join us again later. But for now, from Gaydon Land Rover Show 2018, celebrating 70 years of Land Rover. We'll shut down the jars for probably an hour or so, and back with you a bit later on. Many thanks for watching.
Thank you.